Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Burley Cardboard, and today's video I'm going to be going over some of my recent pickups. Recent in quotes because these are actually pickups that I've had over about the past over a year. As I've said in previous videos, I had been planning on making videos for over a year, and so I had been planning to make a pickups video, and so that video has kind of turned into all my pickups for over a year. I would say back to March of last year, about spring training time. So these are all of my pickups for a little over a year, and I think it's a good opportunity for us to look at these, and we can actually see how some of these pickups look at this point, and how the cards have gone up and down since then. Obviously, a lot of these actually have gone down. March in 2021 was about the was towards the end of the kind of COVID bubble, and so some of these cards have definitely gone down since then for that reason, and then some of these cards have gone down for other reasons too. So it'll be kind of interesting to look at these and see the results over a year's time. So let's start with the first one. These first few didn't work out so well, and I do think that part of it is because of the COVID bubble. But back in back in probably about March of 2021, I picked up this 2020 Topps Bo Bichette rookie in a PSA 10, and uh, Bo Bichette. I had been watching. I know that the Bench Clear guys and Silver Jackify had been during that time, during all the kind of the COVID bubble. They had been putting together a portfolio of cards, not real cards that they had bought, but just a portfolio of cards, and then they had tracked them to see how much they went up or down, and then they were gonna find a winner. And so a bunch of the quite a few of the guys, maybe all of them, had the Bo Bichette rookie, and they had a few of them, and they were going up and stuff. And so I kind of bought into that. I thought, those three guys are obviously super knowledgeable in the hobby, and so they believed in the Bo Bichette rookie, and so I picked up some Bo Bichette rookies. In addition to that, my son was born in August of 2020, and so it was also Bo Bichette's rookie year, and we named him Bo. So I also, thought that maybe I'd buy some Bo Bichette cards from rookies from the year that my son was born, and that way, when I pass them down to him, that would be kind of neat. So anyway, I picked up this Bo Bichette rookie in a PSA 10, and I actually the next card is also another Bo Bichette rookie in PSA 10. So, like I said, I picked both of these up in about March 2021, and I believe I paid about 85 for both of these. I think it was 85 and maybe 90 for the other. So, like I said, that was the end of the COVID bubble, and these have obviously gone down a lot since then with the ending of the COVID bubble. And I also think Bo Bichette is hurt a little bit. He is a superstar player, I'd say, but I think he's hurt a little bit by being overshadowed a little bit by having Vlad on his team as well. And obviously Vlad had a great 2021 and was definitely in the MVP running. And so I think Bo Bichette is unfortunately overshadowed a little bit by Vlad on his same team. But he's a great player, and now these cards, I looked them up. They're going for about $20 to $30 now in a PSA 10, which is a good deal, and I would think a little bit undervalued. I think part of it, like I said, is that they've gone down from the time that I bought them was the COVID bubble, but then also seems like collectors have kind of gone away from base cards, as many people have discussed. So I think people are kind of going away from base cards. So I feel like maybe that's sort of a cyclical thing too, and maybe people will come back to base cards here eventually. But I just think that at $20 to $30, these are a pretty good deal. So yeah, those purchases don't look so great at this point. So let's move on to the next one. The next one also not great. This is a 2019 Topps Eloy Jimenez in a Gem Mint tin. And kind of the same deal. Eloy was another up-and-coming star. And I didn't have one of his rookies, so I picked this one up in a PSA 10 and right around that same time frame. So it was, again, right at the end of that COVID bubble. And so everything was kind of inflated at that time. And so I picked this one up for $77. $77. And then obviously he's had injury issues since then. So this card has gone down a lot because of the COVID bubble, but also because of all of his injury issues. He's out on the IL right now, currently. So I think he's out for about another month or so. So this card has gone down a lot as well. I bought it at $77. You can now get it for $10 in a PSA 10. So that seems like a great deal. Maybe something to go out and pick up. So I'm assuming, if he comes back and plays to his potential and can avoid injury, that would be a pretty good pickup for $10. And again, people have kind of shifted away from base cards, but you never know what's going to happen. And if it does end up being kind of cyclical, there's a possibility that they will come back and that would be a good purchase at $10 for a PSA 10. So the next card, I bought this right around spring training, when spring training was going on as well. And Bobby Witt Jr. last year in 2021 had a great spring training, looked great, and he ended up getting sent back down to the minors after the 2021 spring training, even though he did play really, really well. He was one of the standouts from spring training. And so I kind of bought in at that point, and so I picked up this first Bowman Chrome. And obviously he's up in the majors this year, and he's not playing as well as I think a lot of people hoped. But I think he has a lot of potential, and so this is a cool card. And I bought this for $20.50 in around March 2021. And it looks like now, even though he's called up now, because he hasn't been playing great, it looks like you can get these raw for I saw sales from like $15 to $17, so pretty close to around what I bought it for. And again, I think he's a player that has a lot of potential, and this is a card that I think could go up a lot if he starts playing to his potential. And we'll see how he does here going forward. All right, this is another card I got right at the beginning of spring training. And so I am an Angels fan because Mike Trout's my favorite player. And so when Shohei showed up at spring training last year, Joe Madden was just raving about the guy. He was talking about how he showed up in great condition. I remember him saying that everything that he was doing, hitting, pitching, everything just looked great. He had worked really hard all off season. He was working with a trainer all off season before the 2021 season. And so Joe Madden was just raving about the guy. And then the spring training game started, and he started out hot last year. And so I went out pretty quickly. I bought in, with Joe Madden raving about the guy, and I always knew that, Ohtani could be great. We saw part of it in 2018, and he's obviously had injury issues in 19 and 20. But so I bought in, went out and purchased this card. This is a 2018 Topps Chrome Refractor, and I picked this one up for $31 at the start of spring training, and that ended up being one of my best purchases over the past year and a little bit. So bought this one for $31, and now I went out and looked, and it looked like the last one had sold for $198.50. So this is definitely a good purchase, and we saw last year what he could do, and I think he's going to be a perennial MVP candidate because he can hit great, he can pitch great, and obviously we haven't seen that in my lifetime. So really cool card, and one that I was excited about getting. So a funny thing is I had looked at some Shohei rookie autos in the offseason before the 2021 season, just because I am an Angels fan, and I did think, he could play better than he had been playing, and he had all those injury issues. So I had looked at some Topps Chrome autographs, rookie autographs for Shohei, and really wish I would have made the purchase now, because they were going for really great deals at that time. So, and those have obviously gone kind of crazy. So next card that we have is also another Shohei Ohtani rookie. I bought this a little bit later into spring training, and so obviously he was the big news out of 2021 spring training. He was just hitting the cover off the ball and pitching well as well. So by the time I got this one, I had received the Topps Chrome refractor at this point, but Shohei Ohtani was the hot new player to get, and so his cards had already started going up, and so I picked up this Topps Gold. I think I got all the previous ones I had gotten from eBay, but I picked this one up from a Facebook baseball card group, and I picked this one up for $70 at that time. And I noticed, I don't know if you guys can pick it up in the video, but there is a little bit of chipping on this card, as you can see with the golds here and there, but there's a little bit of chipping on the edges there. So that was kind of a bummer when I got that in. The guy didn't have a great picture of it, and but I wanted a Ohtani Gold, and was kind of trying to jump on them before, as they kept going up and up during spring training. So wanted to jump on one, and so I got this one. It's in pretty good shape, but yeah, like I said, we got some chipping on the borders there, so could be a little bit better, but still a really awesome card. Like I said, I picked this up for $70. The last one looked like it sold for $132.50, so that one's gone up as well. So yeah, both these Ohtanis ended up being really good purchases for me over the past year. So the next one here. All right, so back down to some poor purchases that I made over the past year. So this is a 2013 Topps Update Christian Yelich rookie in a Gem Mint tin. I picked this up last year when Yelich was on the IL, and I thought I was being really smart because he was on the IL, and so his prices had come down a little bit. He'd also had a bad season up to that point when he went on the IL, and but he had been hurt and then had gone on the IL, so I was hoping that he would come back, play really well, and his card prices would go back up. So I thought, because I was buying this card when he was on the IL, that I was being smart and kind of buying low. Obviously, he ended up playing poorly for the whole 2021 season, and also this was towards the end of the COVID bubble as well. So I bought this card at $157.50, and like I said, he played poorly, so it's kind of a combination of buying this card towards the end of the COVID bubble, and then also Yelich playing poorly last season, and I would say, the shift away from base cards. So this card you can now get at $44 I think was the last sale. So this one's come down a ton. And so, yeah, I thought I was being smart at the time when I purchased this, but it didn't turn out to be so smart. So, but he's been playing pretty well this year. So, I'm hoping maybe if he keeps playing well, he could come back a little bit. But anyway, cool card. It's not one that I had at the time, so that's why I wanted to add it to my collection at the time. But like I said, ended up being not a great purchase. All right, so this next one's a bigger envelope, has a few things in it here. So I bought this about the same time as I bought the Yelich rookie, and it's another poor purchase, but one that I thought I was doing well at the time. So this is a 2017 Topps Chrome update, Cody Bellinger rookie in a PSA 10. And again, Bellinger was also on the IL at this time and had played poorly to that point in the year. And so again, I thought I was kind of buying low on Bellinger. This isn't a card that I had in my collection, so it's another one that I wanted to add. And both, obviously, Yelich and Bellinger had great seasons in 2019, so fairly recently. So I thought I was buying low on this one. I bought this one for $163.49. So obviously we know now that he played poorly for the rest of the 2021 season, even when he came back from the IL. And he's kind of been up and down this season. Seems like he's playing maybe a little bit better. So maybe he can get back to his form, and maybe this card will come back a little bit. So I had bought this card for $163.49, but you can now pick this card up for $47. So pretty good deal to buy it for $47, I would think. So, but again, kind of a shift away from base cards. So, but also combined with him playing poorly. So then, I bought that card from Probstein, and so I was trying to find some cards to add on to my order, and so I went ahead and added on Bellinger's Topps Chrome rookie as well, and this one's just in a PSA 9 though. I picked this one up for $26 and added this one so that I could do the combined shipping. And obviously this card has come down as well. Not as much because this was not as valuable a card as, to start out with, but bought it for $26. Now it looks like you can pick up a Bellinger Chrome rookie in a PSA 9 for about $10. So another good opportunity to buy if you believe in Bellinger and you think he'll come back and play well again, get his swing figured out and that type of thing. So, but a cool card, but another one that I kind of got crushed on buying, poor timing, and then obviously not purchasing the right players at the right times. I also added on this 1985 Donruss Kirby Puckett. I didn't have any Puckett rookies in my collection at that time, and so I just added this one on to combine the shipping as well, and I added this one for $11.50, so not too bad. Looking at what they sell for now, it's kind of there's a wide range, but looking at the recent sales, there sells from anywhere from $5 to $14. So obviously, if you can pick this card up for $5, that seems like a good buy. So it's a really cool card. This one's in pretty good condition. It does look like there's maybe a little bit of wear on the edges, but not too bad. So nice looking card. So then the next thing I added on to my Probstein order, I got these 2020 Bowman Bobby Witt Juniors, and there's 8 of these in the lot. So again, Witt had come off of a great spring training. He was looking good. He was one of the top prospects in baseball at the time. obviously started out the 2022 season as the number one prospect in baseball, but I obviously didn't know that at the time. But yeah, he just had a great spring training, so I, believed in him. That once he got called up, that he would play well if he played as well as he did in spring training, that he was gonna be a star. So I picked these up, the 8 of just the papers, and I got these 8 of them for $39.59, so about $5 a piece. And now it looks like you can pick these up again. He hasn't played well at the beginning of this season. Looks like you can now pick these up for about $2 a piece. So still about half what I paid for him at the time. So that one didn't really work out super well either. So I bought all those ones at the same time. This is a later order, maybe like a month later in the season last year. But so the first card that I picked up here was Acuna 2018 Topps Chrome Prism Refractor. So really cool looking card. I didn't have Acuna Topps Chrome rookie. I had the Topps Chrome update and obviously the Topps update and some of those, but I didn't have the Topps Chrome rookie. Wanted to pick one up, so I picked up the Prism Refractor because I just think they're really, really shiny and cool looking. So picked that one up. And I got that one for $138.37. He obviously had a great start to the 2021 season. He was on the, I would say, an MVP pace, and then he got injured and was out the rest of the season. I picked this one up after he got injured, and so was trying to kind of buy a lower, and so like I said, I got this one for $138.37. He's come back this season. He's actually hurt again this season, but he's come back and played pretty well. And so I had bought this one for $138.37. Looks like there's been a couple sales here recently. The 2 sales ago, I think, went for $138.50, and then the most recent one was $161, and that was a fixed price one. So obviously, a lot of times those fixed price ones will go for a little more than the auctions. So the auction went for $138.50. So kind of interesting that this one's about right where I purchased it out. But I'm hoping that he'll continue to play well this season, and maybe this card will increase in value this season. So I bought this card. This was kind of a bigger purchase, but this guy that I bought it from also combined shipping. So I added on some extra cards to my order on this one as well. I added on 3 Bowman Chrome Jason Dominguez. I don't have any. These are my only Jason Dominguez cards. And I added these on just because they were fairly cheap. I got all 3 of these for $10.51. They're not obviously the most desirable of the Jason Dominguez Bowman Chromes, but figured that, like I said, I would add these on since they were fairly cheap at the time. And looking at recent sales, most recent sale was $8 for one of these. So I got these for a little over $3 a piece. So they've probably doubled since I bought these, which is kind of interesting because Jason Dominguez started off the 2022 season slowly, as a lot of players have this season. So it'll be interesting to see how he ends up playing the rest of this year. He's picked it up a little bit here recently. So if he can keep playing well, maybe we'll see this card keep going up. But again, this isn't his most desirable card, but still a cool card. And so I got 3 of those just as an add-on. All right, moving on to the next one. I think that was the bag for that one. All right. So then, I think this was towards the end of this was in the off season because I picked up this 2019 Bowman Chrome Joey Bart Mojo. Basically, I picked this up right after we found out that that Buster was retiring, and so I think a lot of people assumed that Joey Bart was coming up since Buster Posey was retiring, and so I grabbed this card. They were going pretty cheap at the time as well, so I got this one for $5.51 plus shipping, and the most recent sale was at $10.50. So this one's doubled since I bought it, and it's a really cool looking card. So if he can play well, and I don't know that he'll be able to fill Posey's shoes right away, but if he can play anywhere close to what Posey did, this might be a pretty good card going forward. So pretty cool one at a good price. And then the next one I picked up, another guy that we've seen before in this video. So this is a 2020 Bowman Sapphire, Bobby Witt Jr. And again, after I saw what Witt could do from his results in 2021 spring training, I just kind of bought into the guy, and I bought this one in the off season. And I think at this point I bought this one actually right before we found out that Bobby Witt was the number one prospect going into the season. And I really like the Bowman Sapphire cards, and so picked up this one. Wanted a little bit nicer version of the Bobby Witt, so went with the Sapphire. And I got this one for I got this one for $96. So pretty cool card. This one, again, he's kind of played poorly out of the gate this season, so you can actually get this one raw for $83 right now. So it's actually come down a little bit from where I got it, but really cool card. And again, I believe in Bobby Witt Jr., and I think if he can play to his potential this year, I think that this card will increase in value. So it's a cool one. All right, next one. So kind of along with the other one, I picked up that Witt, and after I picked up the Witt, I really liked the look of it and wanted to get another Bowman Sapphire card. So I went out and picked up the Volpe Bowman Sapphire in SGC 9.5, and just a really nice looking card. Volpe had played really well last year and had become the Yankees' #1 prospect and passed Dominguez. So I had read some articles in the off season about him and things like that, and so oops, I probably should take that off. That's the guy's name that I bought it from. So there's that back, and so yeah, he had played great, had a great season last year. Cool looking card. I think along with a lot of the other players this year, kind of everybody is off to a slow start, and I don't think Anthony Volpe's any exception. So let's see, I bought this card in a SGC 9.5 for $87.55, and it looks like the last one that sold in a 9.5 for SGC was $65. But it looked like that one was an auction. I think it may have ended like midweek. So there was another one that had sold for quite a bit more. So kind of hard to say. But yeah, most recent sale is 65. So if we go off of that one, this one's come down a little bit as well. But still a cool card. And again, if he plays well, could come back. So this next one, take off the sleeve on this one as well. So this next one I bought kind of off the recommendation of Silver Jackfy. He was going through some of his cards, and this was one of the ones that he showed, and he said at the time, he thought this was a pretty good buy at the price that it was going for a Bowman Sterling autograph. So this is a 2013 Bowman Sterling Austin Meadows prospect autograph in a PSA 9, and his also was in a PSA 9. And so he mentioned, like I said, that he thought that was a pretty good buy at its current price. And so I picked up this one at $16.50. And really nice looking card. So I had bought this one. It was also kind of the off season. I'm not sure if spring training had started at this point, but I had heard that he was kind of on the trade block at that point. He hadn't been traded yet. And so that was another reason that I thought maybe this was a good opportunity to pick up this card, because if he would have gone to, a team with a big following, obviously the Rays don't have a huge following. So if he would have gone to a team with a big following, I could see this card increasing just because of that. But he obviously got traded to the Tigers, and he's played pretty well this season, but I still think he could play better, and actually he just got hurt, so went on the IL. So this card, like I said, I bought at $16.50, and the last one that sold for $5.50. So again, really seems like a really good buy at $5 for a Sterling autograph of Austin Meadows, a player that has a lot of promise still even at this point. So cool card. Next one. So this next card is a 2021 Topps update. It's a Mike Trout photo variation. So as you know probably from previous videos, Mike Trout's my favorite player, and I really like the photo variation cards. I've just always been really into those. I was kind of trying to collect all of Mike Trout's Topps Chrome photo variations, and I have a few of them, but I still have a few more to get. So, but anyway, I like the photo variation cards, especially when they're cool photos. So I thought this one was pretty cool, and it was at a pretty good price. I bought this one at $12, and I thought I had some room to increase at $12 for a photo variation. Some of Mike Trout's photo variations are pretty expensive cards, so this one at $12 seemed like a good buy to me. And the most recent one that sold at $13.50, so up a little bit from where I bought, but cool card. This next one is another Mike Trout card with some Scotch tape on the loader there. You gotta love that. But anyway, yeah, this is a 2012 Topps, and this is the Walmart blue border for Mike Trout. So pretty cool card. I do have some of the 2012 Mike Trouts like this, but I didn't have a blue border, and so I thought this was kind of a cool card as a second year card and as a blue border. And if you look at what the 2012 Mike Trouts were going for about a year ago, Mike Trout's rookie went nuts during that time, and so the 2012s increased in value. So they've obviously come down with his injuries, but he's played great to start the 2022 season. So on an MVP pace. So let's see, I bought this one for $53, and this one is sold anywhere, kind of all over the board. Looked like an auction went for $36.55, a recent auction, so that's down a little bit. But there was also the most recent sale was a fixed price sale, and it sold for $75. So that would be up from where I purchased. So, but a cool card. So. So the next one I bought here fairly recently was a 2019 Heritage Action variant of Mike Trout in a PSA 9. Again, this kind of goes along with the photo variations. The Action variants I think are pretty cool for Heritage, and a lot of them hold a lot of value. So this one I thought was at a pretty good price when I bought it, and so decided to go ahead and pick this one up. I have a few of his other Action variants, his Heritage Action variants. So this one in the PSA 9 I picked up for $39.99, and there's no recent sales, so this was the most recent sale. There was one that looked like it was a best offer in a PSA 9, but even on 130 point I couldn't see the actual price. It was listed at 150 fixed price, and it said best offer accepted, but it was at 150 as well. So not sure what that one went for, but still a cool card. I like the Action variants out of Heritage. Only a couple more left. So the next one is another photo variation Mike Trout. This is a 2013 Topps photo variation of Trout. Pretty cool one because it's a early photo variation of Mike Trout, being a third year. And so I picked this one up at $102.50. And it's a cool card, but when I got it in, I noticed that one of the corners is just a little dinged, and trying to see which one it is here. I want to say it's this top corner, but it was just a little dinged, and it wasn't they didn't mention it in the eBay listing, so I was kind of mad about that. I think that if there's a dinged corner, it should be stated in the eBay auction. And this one wasn't, so I thought about maybe trying to return this one, but it's not a huge ding, and it is all kind of hard to see unless you get it in the right light. So I went ahead and held on to it, even though I spent quite a bit on this at $102. Looking at recent sales of this card, looked like there was a auction recent. I think the most recent one went for $66, so well under what I paid for it. But there was also a $100 sale here recently. I think that was the second most recent sale. So that one's not down too much, but the 66 obviously is down quite a bit. So, and again, this one has a little bit of a corner issue, so which is a bummer, but still a really neat card. A third year photo variation of Mike Trout, so pretty cool. And moving on to the last card. This one I really, really like. This is a 2012 Topps photo variation Trout. And so yeah, I saw this card, and yeah, this has been one of my favorites since I saw it on eBay. I just think this card is cool. It's a second year Trout, and it's a photo variation. And I like this card because it would have been his first All-Star game, and I like that you can tell that it's from his first All-Star game. Obviously, you can see he's talking to Billy Butler over here. You got C.J. Wilson next to him. You got Weaver next to him, and then Trumbo. You can kind of see a piece of his head there. It kind of looks like maybe Jorge Posada next to Trumbo, and then you can see CC Sabathia back in the background there. So just a cool card with a bunch of All-Stars from his first All-Star game. Obviously, his 2012 Topps update, he has his All-Star card, but you can't really tell that it's an All-Star. It's from the All-Star game, except that it has the little All-Star logo in the corner. but it's just a picture of him batting. He does have the, I believe he has the All-Star Game patch on his sleeve that you can see right there. So he does have the All-Star Game patch on his sleeve, so I guess that's kind of shows you that he's at the All-Star Game, but if you don't look closely, it just looks like a normal card of Mike Trout batting. So this one I just was really excited about because you can tell that this one is at the All-Star Game. So it's a card from his first All-Star Game, so really cool, and a second year. So really neat card. I picked this one up for $82.69, and I think I got kind of a little bit of a better deal on this card because the listing said that if you read the description of it, it said that this card had a bent corner and that it wouldn't lay flat. So I went ahead and got it anyway, and when I got it, I looked it over and there's no issues that I can see with this card. So I think I got a little bit of a better deal on this card, and so that's kind of exciting as well. The most recent sale of this card went for $125. So, but yeah, I just think this card's awesome. It's definitely one of my favorite cards in my collection now. I just think it's awesome. A second year Trout as first All-Star Game, and the photo variation, which I'm into. I'm into the photo variation cards, so super awesome. I love it. So yeah, those are my cards that I've picked up over the past a little over a year. So yeah, kind of interesting to see, you know, what's happened with the prices and stuff. Yeah, but you know, even the ones that have come down a lot, you know, I probably wouldn't change anything. Like I said at that time, I thought I was being smart on a lot of those ones, and it didn't work out, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So thanks for checking out my video and sitting through it. That was a little bit of a longer video as well, with over a year of purchases. So thanks for checking out this video, and like I said, keep an eye out for future videos. I'll keep making them. So thanks everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.